Welcome to Parent Squad. Another school year is coming to a close and summer break is nearly here. And that means the kids are about to be home all the time, every day, all day. And for a lot of families, it's a whole other level of chaos. But you can both survive and thrive this summer. Here to help us do that is Indianapolis Moms contributor and mom of 8, Amanda Hauser. Hi, thank you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yes, this is an important topic because a lot of women, a lot of families, jobs just keep going even though they have this long break. So you say one of the keys is to rise with the sun. So what's the benefit of getting up early?
I have 3 key points there. Number 1, if you are a caregiver to a young child, sometimes if you don't start early, it doesn't happen. You know, so if you really value having your own personal time, your ability to even shower, young mothers sometimes have a hard time of even getting showered once all of the kids get up and get going. If you add that hour or 2 hours to the beginning of your day, you are guaranteeing your own self-care. And that might be your time for personal reflection, for coffee, showering, or even getting a little extra work done at home. Another reason I like to add an hour at the beginning of the day is just productivity levels. Who's bothering you at 5:30 in the morning?
Oh, 5:30. Okay.
No.
Maybe 6:30 is your time.
Okay, fair. You know, at my house, even if the kids are getting up at 8 and I'm up at 6, I have 2 hours of super productivity time. If I wait and try to apply that 2 hours, let's say from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., I have so many things combating that time and that productivity. So if I'm really looking at using my time wisely, those morning hours could be far more productive. And then the third reason I add add an hour in the morning is when you think about your day, the end of the day really never has an end. So like if you put off things that you want to work on into the evening, you could just endlessly end up working until the wee hours of the morning.
Oh, I get that.
Because there's no boundary to the end of your day. You just keep going. So some self-preservation would be, I'm going to time block my morning because there's an end. Like I'm going to work till the morning, you know, the end of this morning. And when this time is over, then whatever comes next comes next. But if you wait till the end, you may just be giving yourself a very long to-do list.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. That makes
Right.
a lot of sense. And we know early bird gets the worm, but I love that you targeted with this advice. I mean, all moms, but younger moms of younger children, because there can be an opportunity for less structure there if you're like the mom that stepped away from work to take care of that younger kid. And it's like that structure is kind of what helps keep you going. That structure helps keep your child on a schedule too. And I've seen it both ways. And I find that the balance really, really helps, and it's healthy for everybody. Now, to go along with that, a good rule of thumb, she says, is nothing before noon. Break that down.
Okay, now this might be for mamas of a little bit older children, the ones who want to do like all the things with all the people all the time. And you know, they're tugging on your shirt. Oh, I want to go out and play. Oh, I want to do this event, or you know, this, that, or the other that they have in mind of what they want to do. Maybe even a bucket list of ideas.
Okay.
So in my house, I tell the children, they're like our school age children, listen, until 12 p.m., nothing from mom. So that is your time and that is my time. How I choose to use the hours up until noon is completely up to me. If I want to use that to do some self-care, like to read a book, to sit on the patio, reflection, go on a walk, great, that's my choice. If I want to use that to get in extra work, maybe I'm writing during that time, maybe I'm meal prepping or doing laundry, whatever it is, at noon, I time block that. When the clock chimes noon, I'm done and I am all yours. So those kids know that they're going to spend that time daily doing their own things. And the expectation is that they're going to get their chores done during that time. That's their chill time too. If they want TV time, they want screen time, that's theirs. At noon, we're going to head out and go do something. We're going to be together. But what I also love about noon specifically is that if you are being budget conscious right now, most of the time people eat by noon, right?
Okay.
So if I'm always planning that we're not going to do anything until noon, I'm feeding the kids at home. So I'm not eating out with our adventures. I'm not packing this huge picnic to the pool that I have to pack all the way back. So noon kind of serves a purpose there too, because you're feeding your family at home. It's a little bit more nutritious.
That's
a
2
little
meals,
more
breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, right, and a little more budget friendly. And then you really can dive into whatever that activity is afternoon.
And then you have your famous speech of, we have food at home. So for dinner, we're not stopping, we have food at home. Okay, I love that you say that. I want to frame it so people are following and understanding. So this is for school age where they still kind of need you, but they have a little bit of autonomy. So what are we thinking? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like right around there, maybe a little older.
Yeah.
And then this is summertime, so your home, how your life is set up. So this window of time might look a little different for other parents who might be working in the middle of the day, but I like the intentionality of having that me time, like give me a minute to breathe here.
Right, and you're right. Every adult has a different summer schedule with their children. Some are working outside the home, some are working inside the home. I found that I still have a lot to do with my job and with my writing, even though it's summer and teachers are traditionally off during the summer. I still had stuff I needed to do. And I didn't want to, quote, waste away my days with my children. I really wanted to capitalize on time with them. So if you time block.
And you're not wasting away, but I didn't want anybody to be like, wait, waste away your days. You're not wasting them away, but I think being able to have that moment to pour into yourself allows you to have structured quality time of pouring in.
Yes.
Because you could go as a mom.
Oh.
You can spend every single day, every single moment scheduling, and that is not the way to go.
Absolutely. And so the concept of time blocking is that you are intentional with that time. If you know that you're intentionally going to be doing the you things from, let's say, 8 a.m. till 12, and then you know and your children know that you are 100% present and available for them, that's going to look different for every adult and their schedule, but that's what's worked for us.
Okay, let's move on. I really wanted to dive in that because I am taking notes. I am taking notes when Amanda Hauser, mom of 8, comes in. All right, so and even though summer can be more laid back than the school year, it's still important to plan and keep track of what's going on. What are you referring to here?
Well, so many things, first of all. In summer, sometimes things get so loosey-goosey that we start getting huge piles of laundry and huge piles of mail on the counters. And then that just mental clutter and physical clutter can kind of be synonymous.
Yes.
So if you are somebody who really struggles with clutter mentally, then keep your physical clutter to a minimum. And you touched on it before. It's really healthy to keep routines, but there's a fine balance. Summer is so beautiful because for a lot of us, that means we get a break from those routines that are really hard, like very strict bedtimes, very strict wake up times, and we're scheduled to the nth degree. And so it feels really good sometimes to exhale a little bit during the summer. However, routines might be your best friend if you need that structure. So remember that routines provide stability and reliability and comfort psychologically for children. So if you have a child who maybe is showing increased challenging behaviors during the summertime, you might want to reevaluate your routines. Or have you deviated too far from your routines and that child maybe needs a little more structure? On the flip side, you kind of have to balance, are you that mom who's going to leave a full grocery cart at Kroger to go get a nap at 2 o'clock because you couldn't finish in time?
Right.
And then are you creating inflexibility within your schedule? So be gentle with yourself. Keep the routines that make sense for you during the summer, and maybe that's wake up time, or maybe that's bedtime, or maybe that's a mealtime routine. Keep what works. Give yourself grace to change the things that you want to let go during the summer.
Yes. I remember a couple of weeks ago, not summer yet, we skipped dinner on a Thursday and we went and got ice cream. Ice cream for dinner.
Love it.
And it was just the spontaneity. I just feel like it was so good for my soul, which you should always say yes to ice cream, even if you get a little small scoop of vanilla and have a couple bites. But I mean, the spontaneity and just being open to break up the routine, I think matters. But I love what you're saying. Let's not get too loose and goose. Let's not go too crazy. All right, and for the kids, no activities until they have done their chores.
Oh, I live and breathe by this one.
Yeah.
Because I really want to make sure I'm not giving my children permission to leave it all on mom. Just because they are on a break, that doesn't mean that we are absolved of all of our responsibilities.
Yeah. And so many kids, you need everybody to chip in. I mean, anything over one is a lot. But with so many kids, everyone has to chip in to make sure that the house still functions.
Right, and it's just a general agreement that we have at our house. It's the pitch-in agreement. If you see a need, fill the need. And a lot of the work gets done sooner and we get to play sooner too, right?
Yes, I love it. We know summer can be a free-for-all. Things like family meetings and meal prepping can help calm the chaos. I feel like when you have this statement, you're encouraging parents to still kind of check in, to still have that connection in all the loose and goose and adventure of the summer.
Right. You don't want to drive yourself crazy with the lack of structure with your children. Your children are probably going to love the ice cream for dinner. Promote it all the way, right? You know, you do the fun things. But if you, as the adult, are feeling a little angsty about, oh, there's a lot of chaos going here. There's such a lack of structure, and it's bothering you. Remember, like as the adult, you're the regulator of all emotions in your house.
Regulate,
right?
regulate,
You got
regulate.
it.
Yes.
You know, so if mom or dad is dysregulated, that is not going to be fun for everyone. So if you need to find like one little nugget to keep yourself sane, maybe that's looking at the calendar on a Sunday. Like for my husband and I, it's Sunday. We sit on the couch, we both break out our phones and look at our calendar. Okay, this is what I've got this whole week ahead. What do you have? What days are we really crunched? What days do we need
You guys do that
help?
every Sunday?
Every Sunday.
You have such a good partner.
I have an amazing partner.
You're like, we had to figure this out with 8 kids. We had to get on the same page.
Oh, you know, we were in 4 states at the same time this last weekend. And
Wow.
you know, you just have to know, like, when do I need a carpool? When is it going to be grab and go dinner night? Like, there is a time and place for
Yes.
grab and go dinner. You know,
Order the pizza.
order the pizza, go through the drive-through. And if you know in advance, like, it's Wednesday, it's Chick-fil-A day, we're going, you know, if you know in advance, that just frees up a tab in your brain
Yes, it does.
and it helps calm the chaos.
Yeah, you and I have talked about these tabs.
Yes, so many
The
tabs.
literal ones and the physical ones.
You've got it, you've got it. So meal planning is just a tiny thing that you can do to help keep yourself regulated during a time of a little bit of chaos.
Yes, and that totally helps you with your own diet and stuff, being able to plan ahead
Sure
and
does.
take that little extra time. I see you got this. This is why you're here. This is why you're the expert and why you're here, because you're helping all of us. She has it down to a rhythm. Here's an idea that you did share with us, and I'm glad you did. She said a really cool thing you can do with Monopoly money is to help the kids choose and create summer experiences. So how are you using Monopoly money in your house?
Okay, so yes, we do have fake dollars. It started as the Disney dollars before a Disney experience, and it has evolved to these summer dollars. Complete fake money. My girls especially start their summer with a literal bucket list. They make an entire poster of, Mom, by the end of the summer, I want to have done like.
Yeah,
and there's
shocker, they're a planner like their mom.
they have such an agenda of like 25 things. It's not realistic time-wise, energy-wise,
Yes.
financially. Those things are not all realistic. Also, it's really important for us to instill responsibility in our children, that they need to be fiscally responsible, they need to be responsible with their contributions they're pitching in the house. So we kind of devised this fake money system where they get an allowance, so to speak, of fake money for doing the basics. You know, showing up in the world in our house, like you're making your bed, you're being a kind human, you're emptying the dishwasher when you're asked, so on and so forth. That's your fake money. Then we upped the game, like, oh, but I kind of need the carpets shampooed. Oh, I am offering 50 Monopoly dollars to whoever's going to shampoo the carpets for Mom. Or
What?
whoever, yeah, and whoever does, like, I'm really behind on laundry right now. If you can step it up and get these 3 loads of laundry folded, I will offer you 10 Monopoly dollars. All fake money, you know,
Okay.
and then they hold on to that. Now, when they go to their bucket list, I assign monetary value to each one of those. So you want a sleepover? That's going to cost you 15 Monopoly dollars to have that sleepover. And what it does is it really helps them prioritize what's important for them. And they're seeing that cause and effect, that it's not just about making money, it's about making choices in life. Like we can't, especially in a large family,
Yeah.
we can't do all the things all the time.
That's true.
So if you have your kind of fake money, what we originally called our Disney dollars,
Yeah.
and then you can make those choices of like, well, I can really pitch in and help Mom, which really does help
Yes.
me.
Which helps the entire
Which helps the
house.
entire
which
house.
Obviously you don't see that as a child,
Right,
but we
right,
know.
Right, and so when they do want to go get ice cream, great.
Yeah.
We can do it. But if you want to go to the amusement park, you're going to have to put in a little more effort to get there.
Okay. You're asking them to pour into, not just to be the takers in the family, in the household, with time or money, you're also asking them to pour into the household too. I'm like just trying to work this and see how,
Right.
I don't know how to implement this with a 2-year-old, but
No,
yeah.
maybe not there
I like
yet.
that.
But you
No,
want
I
to
know,
be,
yeah.
and you want to be somewhere between like that no negative Nelly that you can't ever do anything, and the temptation to be like give your kids a yes day all Christmas. You can't do that.
Yes.
So this was a balance that has worked for us in the past, and we're gonna
And I love
it.
it just because you have so many kids, you have to. But even I have one, and what I am concerned about, which we do pray for a sibling one day, but I'm concerned about right now, everything is about him. Every single thing, and he's 2, so that's how toddler
Fair.
life goes. But every single thing is about him, and that's not how you move with a family. That's not how you operate within a unit. And I know that because I have also it's baby Teddy. I have a big Teddy who was the only child too. So I was like, we're not doing that. Okay, Amanda, thank you for being here.
thank you.
I certainly appreciate it. It's always like a therapy session when she comes. We break it down, but just so many good tips. As a new mom myself, I'm taking notes. Maybe you can implement something. Maybe you heard something and you can use in your life, or you want to tweak it a little bit. That's what it's all about, is sharing ideas, uplifting each other, encouraging. For more info on her blogs about organizing your time and your family, head to WTHR.com/Parent Squad. More to come, so stay with us.